Good morning, class. My name is Emmett Gill, and I'll be your instructor for Introduction to Sports Social Work. And, I'm really excited about the class. Been teaching this class now for about 4 years, two here at the University of Texas at Austin. And so I'm going to do a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to remind you that your Canvas posts are due this afternoon. Remember, according to the syllabus, don't accept late work. So let me throw that shout out really quick. Um, about me, long story short, I'm a former student athlete from the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, played baseball, went on to get my doctorate at the University of Maryland. I got my master's in social work at Howard University. And so my master's and my terminal degree are both in social work. And sort of since my first academic job at the University of Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, I've just sort of been involved in social issues in sports. And so, my first paper, that I wrote was about the Duke lacrosse sexual assault scandal. And then the next was about, Rutgers and Don Imus. And then I've written about things like the Baylor sexual assault case. And I've written about, Ray Rice and domestic violence. And so, my work and my passion has been looking at social work issues through a sports lens. So if you think about things like, poverty, you think about foster care, you think about, crime, you think about, again, sexual assault, but then you also think about the positive things that sports can do. Women in sports, youth development through sports, the way that we develop our areas of identity and ability through sports. I said this often. If I did not have a chance to play baseball in college, I never would have gone to college, and I'd never have an opportunity to teach this class. And so, sport has been good to me. But that's what this class is really about. It is somewhat about student athletes, whether you're a youth in youth sports, whether you're in high school sports or college sports. This class will also look at issues that directly impact the student athlete. So we'll look inward in the sense that, things like depression and anxiety and eating disorders and, millennial helicopter parents, how do those impact athletes? We'll also look at the infrastructure of sports, issues like sports policy, whether it's Title IX, whether it's, pay for play, in terms of college athletics. I'm excited about the class because I do believe we have a few UT student athletes in the class. And so we're going to be able to provide a perspective of a student athlete. Some of you may be former student athletes. We're going to have that student perspective, so sometimes your views may collide, but, I want us to remember to always be respectful. And so we'll go from youth sports to high school sports to Olympic sports to college sports and then to pro sports. Like I alluded to in the syllabus, I really think that it's important. The discussion boards are really important. I expect to see good writing. I expect to see thoughtful writing. That's really important because I look at the discussion boards as an opportunity for you to integrate some of the terms from the reading and demonstrate to me that you're doing the reading. The reading is really important. Although we've got some parents out there of athletes, we've got some coaches out there, we've got some referees, we've got some sports fans in this class. We've probably got your involvement in sports is probably wide and deep. But that doesn't mean that, you nor I know everything there is about sports. And so I really go back to, I want you to read. I want you to look at the videos. I want you to spend some time, digesting the material. Although this is an online class, I'm going to try and check in like weekly, maybe do a weekly video, maybe talk about some issues, maybe talk about the reading. But I don't want this to be a totally static class. The thing that I'm excited about is the opportunity to video conference with each student twice throughout the semester. And it may only be for a couple of minutes. But it gives me an opportunity to meet you, to talk to you, find out what your interests are, why you took this class. When we have the video conferences later in the semester, it'll be an opportunity for you to ask me about the issue briefs, to ask me about, the case study, to make sure that you're on point with regard to your assignment. I'm always available, um, whether it be by text, whether it be by email, or whether it be by video conference. And I'm just really excited about the class. Um, in closing, something always spectacular comes out of this class in terms of me learning about a couple of new ways to look at sports. Something that I haven't thought of, that because students read and they thought about it and they have a passion about it, that they come up with this spectacular issue brief or this piece of a case or this discussion board post. It's just like, wow, man, I never really thought of that. And I'm really excited about that. So I ask that you invest in this class. Like I said, I know that it's an online class. It's not a challenge. We got discussion boards, we got case study, we got issue brief. You got to do a field trip, take some pictures. I ask that you invest yourself in it. I ask that you turn in your assignments on time. And really have fun and really try and think outside the box. Again, in closing, right now, I'm a former clinical professor at the University of Texas. I worked as the director of student athlete development and personal development and wellness and athletics for 2 years. I'm a social worker. And now I have an opportunity to work in New York for a company called Vibrant Emotional Health, where my title is Professional Sports Wellness and Crisis Manager, Program Manager. I mean, I get to work on the NBA and NFL mental health initiatives, doing some work with the NHL. And so it's like, I'm a social worker, and this is what I get to do, because the NBA has mandated mental health, and the NFL has mandated mental health and crisis plans, and the NHL is coming along, and hopefully Major League Baseball. Actually, we got to catch up to Major League Baseball. But this all came from, me wanting to just be a social worker and help kids who just so happen to be athletes. So not only is this a class where you'll learn new things, but hey, maybe there's somebody in the class who might take this on as a career. One of the students in my last class actually took over for me at the University of Texas and is now a social worker in athletics. So you never know what'll happen. I'm looking forward to the semester. I'm looking forward to talking to y'all. God bless and have a great week. Talk to you soon. Peace.